When you say nothing, that says everything. And what you're saying is not good. We are fighting for justice. We are fighting for love, for compassion, for common sense. We just couldn't really be worried about folks that didn't like those words, and we were given a lot of different alternatives, like what if we do this instead? Well, what if we do this instead? And we just had to remain firm. That's a great suggestion, but you know what? We're pretty much set on Black Lives Matter as the message.
Art in general is important. It doesn't matter if that art is on the street, on a canvas, on a building. That art is important because I believe that when you present someone with visual art, that person is then forced to have an internal conversation with themselves. You get to see what you see, and you have to internalize what that means to you. And that is hopefully what is gonna be able to plant the seed for you to be like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense to me, or not. Either way, you can't pretend that you didn't see it. You can't pretend that the message wasn't there.
Art has an energy to it, and it's uplifting, it's inspiring. The color of art, the just energy of art, the love that's placed into art, it feels different than just a sign. It needed to be powerful and relatable, and I believe art does that.
Art is always the first language that any culture speaks. When we want to learn about a people, we look at their food, we look at their art, their music, their dance, their visual art. That is how we first learn about people, is through creative movement.
In the middle of summer of 2020, we were going to people and saying, will you support this? We have to buy a lot of paint, we have to buy a lot of supplies. This is the largest creative placemaking endeavor that has ever been done. One call after the other, I got, yes, we're happy to. We're so excited, this sounds amazing. And I thought, my faith in humanity is restored.
The fun challenge was obviously coming up with the designs and working with the artists to see what they wanted to convey and how that would come across on a very large street. So working from, a mock-up, which is an 8x10 piece of paper, all the way to something that is up to like almost 3 blocks long.
Can I say first that I didn't think it was gonna be like this big. I knew it was an opportunity. I was scared because I had never done anything that large, but I was excited as well. And it kind of happened at a time where we were talking about systemic racism in my school. I was discussing with my students how to use your platform to share how you felt about a situation, like give voice to, using your art to give voice.
Of course, I agreed to take on the challenge of creating a mural for a block. I had no idea at that time which block it was gonna be, and I didn't care. I thought that the opportunity was amazing, and I wanted to participate in the project. So I said yes, very fearfully, I said yes.
It felt scary, it felt overwhelming, but it was a privilege. It was an honor to do such a grand project with such meaning. I was honored. It was scary. It was something that I've never done before, but it was a blessing. It was awesome.
Okay, I need to design. Design part's easy, got that. What is it gonna look like to put it on this street? Am I drawing the letters? Just kind of going through that in my head. So I was really excited, but I was also like kind of scared. But we have this thing where you just do it scared.
The biggest thing for me was to make sure that whatever it is that I designed, that it was actually doing what it was intended to do, which was to tell the story of the community that is affected by what is happening in our neighborhoods. And the message for me was the fact that Black Lives Matter, not the organization, but the literal lives, the Black Lives Matter. And that's what I wanted to convey in my mural.
I thought it was important not just to say Black Lives Matter, but to incorporate like the people. I wanted it to be unapologetically Black throughout the entire design. I thought it was super important to include the piano keys. And some were like, why is she at piano keys? We were on 18th and Vine. That's the jazz district. Who plays jazz? People of color play jazz in that strip. I just wanted to include that area, the history of that area in that mural. If it worked out beautifully, that's excellent. But really, I was just more trying to focus on representing the community.
I believe that the impact is just encouragement, hope. I believe the mural was a reminder that you are not alone, that you're not forgotten, that you do matter. And I believe that it's an ongoing reminder that needs to happen that really uplifts our community and reminds the community that we stand together.
In the moment when you're creating and when you're doing something that you are so committed to and you believe in, you receive superhuman strength. Like when you can lift a car because you have an adrenaline rush. Normal days we wouldn't be trying to do that.
Seeing the support, seeing the love, feeling the love, just people was really dedicated to make it happen. And I don't think it wouldn't have been able to work if we didn't come together.
There are people in this community who deserve to see that what we have been screaming this whole time, it goes beyond just a protest at the plaza where the police pepper spray you because you're too loud or you're in the way of traffic. Having this mural on the street is another form of protest. So even though I may have been like, you know what, that's too dangerous for me to go out there with my sign and my 3 kiddos to protest in the street, but what I can do is I can use this street that I have been given permission to use to say what it is that I need to say as a protest, even though I couldn't protest in a different way. There's more than one way to say what you have to say, and you can say it without even having to have a dialogue. You can say it with visual art.
Sometimes when we don't have words for what we're experiencing in the moment, visual art is a beautiful way in which people can exercise that emotion. And that's really what you saw. You saw people trying to work out what they were feeling as Black people, what they were feeling as white people, and coming together to create something that was going to shine light in a beautiful way on what was happening.
For them, for my family, for my kids, when I am no longer on this earth, I leave a part of history, a legacy, like something for them to be proud about, something where if maybe they're questioning if they should speak up for what is right, they can remember, hey, my mom did this, in spite of the threats or the negative comments that were being made, she stood up for what was right and she did it so that my life can be a little bit easier.
I'm ready to do it all again. I want to do it all again. The street is brutal on those designs, and I'm ready for them to be made brand new again.